Hello guys, welcome back. We're going to rehouse our Vibora diversips, the Amazon Sapphire pink toe. These are an absolutely stunning little spider, and they're starting to outgrow these little pots that we got them in now, and we're now going to move them up into these to give them a little bit extra space. This is going to be their home before they go to their adult accommodation. So what we'll do, I'll show you. Very, very simple. We've got some soil here. And all we're going to do, this is just normal potting compost. What we'll do is we just put a little bit of that in there. A little bit down the front. Now what we're doing here, this stuff is really good for holding the moisture in. So we just plonk a bit in there like so. Try not to fill his water bowl up. Right. A tiny bit more. Again, the only reason we're topping this up is because the more that's in there, the better it will hold the moisture. So we can do away with that. Just give that a little wipe because I'm such a messy bugger. There we go. That there. What we're going to do is going to add a little bit of moss. Again, this will just aid in keeping some moisture going on in there. And they do actually sit up in this stuff, it's quite interesting. And that'll do that. We keep it fairly simple. We get a little bit more than some of the other spiders that we've moved into this type of accommodation. And that's purely because these guys tend to web up, so they'll use a lot of this as an anchor point to web up. And I'm pretty much expecting them to go back behind this piece of cork bark. And as you can tell by the enclosure that we're using, these are an arboreal spider, and they're like most of the Avicularia. These guys have all got very, very similar requirements. They do enjoy a high humidity, but not wet. We're talking about air humidity, not wetness. So what we're going to do, I think we can have a little bit of light on these guys, and we'll show you. I'm just going to top this water dish up. Now then, if you'd like to come over here and see this, these are just phenomenally gorgeous. Look at that. Not overly keen on the light. These are more of a nocturnal spider. But look at the colouring that's coming through on that abdomen. They're fairly gentle. Now these guys, as is common with a lot of the Avics, they're one of their nice little tricks that they do when they're feeling a little bit harassed, or if a predator is to come by, is they will shoot poop at them. What we're going to do now, we're just going to ask it to kindly walk down onto there. There we go. There we go. As you can see there, that's quite a small spider. So this is at a largish enclosure for this size spider, but she will grow really well in here. I think she looks absolutely stunning there. What we're going to do, we're going to pop her lid on, making sure that we don't squash her. And there she is. Now these types of enclosures are absolutely ideal for this sort of spider. And this is because they do lock down and they're actually airtight. We've got some small holes here for ventilation, so they are actually drilled out. And we've got holes down the bottom. This will all aid in the ventilation, but it will give a really nice environment within. Now this one's, get this one to come up on his bit of wood. There we go. There you go. Should we try the other light? Oh, that would have helped, wouldn't it? I'll just plug her in. There we go. Look at that. Got a little bit more size to this one. You can see the colour coming out on the legs. Isn't she beautiful? Now you don't see the sapphire pink toes around so much. It's a shame really, because I think they're really underrated. I think they're an absolutely wonderful spider. And just the sheer colouring and what have you, that abdomen. It's got an abdomen like an overgrown Brazilian jewel. There you go, there she comes. This one's slightly larger than the other one. So hopefully we're going to have a female. And we just ask them to gently walk down there. There we go. Nicely does it. Okay. What a cracking spider. Now, as we said before, these guys like they do like a high humidity. We're looking up in the high 70s to 80% humidity, and they'll do really well at them levels. Temperature wise, I keep these around about the 80s, so you want to be like high 70s to mid 80s is perfectly fine for these guys. They really do well at them sort of temperatures. Food wise, I have found with these and some of the other avicularia, they're not, when they're small, when they're babies, they're not so brave when it comes to taking large food. So I tend to keep these guys on food items that are a little bit smaller than what many feed, I would imagine. So I tend to look at them. These ones at this size will take on a small cricket. And the same with roaches. I'll only give them very small roaches, about so big. So we're looking at, you know, less than a centimetre, half a centimetre size roach. And these guys will pick them up all day long. You give them one that's a little bit bigger and they tend to be a little bit nervous of it. So I keep their food items rather small. I think that's quite an important tip if you're rearing these. It's the same with the versicolors. I find generally they prefer a smaller food item, so I find it more beneficial to give them more small but more often, and then you'll equal it out, as it were. So yeah, so fairly easy spider to keep. They do like a bit of airflow and they do like high humidity. They can go, the difference is now, what we're looking for is we want it to be dry in there, but with a good air humidity. That's the key. As with all of these particular species, that's the key. Getting the air humidity. Right. Now, if anyone has any of these and they don't want them anymore, give me a shout, because I'm really looking for some more. If there's any youngsters around, I'd like to hear about it, because we need a couple more. So there you go. There they are, our Amazon Sapphire pink toes. Really cool little spider. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that little showcase. Just give you a little insight of how we look after these guys. and they're nowhere near as bad as you would first think. You just get your head around the humidity side and you'll be there. They're fine. Right then, without further ado, don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spiders. I'll see you soon.